House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 4 Recap. Heavy is the head. There comes a moment in every war when swords and dragons stop being the greatest threat. Pride becomes the real enemy. Episode 4 of House of the Dragon Season 3 proves exactly that. The battlefield may be covered in ash, but the most dangerous cracks are forming inside Rhaenyra's own court. Allies are losing faith, families are turning against each other, and every decision creates another enemy. By the time this episode reaches its chilling final scene, one thing is impossible to ignore. The Dance of the Dragons is no longer just tearing apart a kingdom. It is tearing apart the people trying to rule it. The episode opens with one of its most emotional surprises. Daemon Targaryen, a man who has spent years earning a reputation as Westeros' most ruthless warrior, follows Caraxes into the wild mountains of the Vale. Waiting there is a truth capable of breaking even him. Hidden inside Sheepstealer's cave is his own daughter, Rhaena. The revelation lands like a thunderbolt. Sheepstealer, the wild dragon blamed for the chaos that contributed to Prince Jace's death, now belongs to Daemon's child. Justice suddenly carries a devastating price. If Daemon obeys his queen, he condemns his daughter. If he protects Rhaena, he betrays Rhaenyra. Instead of drawing his sword, Daemon does something almost unimaginable. He breaks. His whispered refusal speaks louder than any battle cry ever could. For the first time in a long time, the rogue prince chooses blood over duty. Rhaena, tired of spending her life fighting for her father's attention, demands the only gift she has ever truly wanted: freedom. She asks him to let her disappear forever rather than hand her over to the queen. It is a heartbreaking confrontation that exposes years of neglect beneath Daemon's fearless exterior. Back in King's Landing, Daemon hides the truth the only way he knows how, with another lie. He throws the burned head of a shepherd onto the small council table, claiming he has already killed Sheepstealer's rider. The deception satisfies almost no one. Rhaenyra burns with frustration because she wanted justice with her own hands, while Mysaria immediately questions Daemon's story. Her distrust has only grown stronger, and every conversation between them feels like another crack opening beneath Rhaenyra's throne. Meanwhile, the queen begins reshaping her council, but every appointment reveals another political gamble. Ser Torrhen Manderly becomes Master of Coin, less because he is the perfect candidate and more because someone will eventually need to shoulder the blame when the treasury collapses. Grand Maester Orwyle keeps his position only after pledging loyalty, while Corlys Velaryon quietly walks away from court to fight the Triarchy's growing naval threat. His departure says everything. After Rhaenyra refuses to legitimize his sons, even one of her oldest and strongest allies is beginning to lose patience. He leaves Alan of Hull behind in his place, but everyone can feel the distance growing between queen and hand. That same frustration appears elsewhere. Ulf White, one of Rhaenyra's newly raised dragon riders, arrives expecting rewards worthy of his new status. His requests sound humorous on the surface, asking for gifts to impress his tavern companions, but beneath the jokes lies genuine resentment. Rhaenyra dismisses him without recognizing how dangerous wounded pride can become. His forced smiles barely hide his anger. Once again, the queen wins the argument but risks losing another ally.
He is mine. He is a part of me.
Welcome to the Film Analyst. Spoiler alert. Across the kingdom, Aegon's humiliation continues. Accompanied by Larry Strong, he visits the blackened remains of Sunfire. Even standing before what appears to be a dead dragon, Aegon refuses to accept reality. His denial follows him to the ruined fortress of Rook's Rest, where forgotten soldiers no longer recognize him as king. Instead, they reduce him to cleaning latrines before forcing him to kneel and kiss filthy boots. It is a brutal fall for a man who once believed the Iron Throne made him untouchable. The war has stripped away every illusion. In the ashes of his own kingdom, a crown offers no protection at all. Elsewhere, Ser Criston Cole marches into Harrenhal, expecting Prince Aemond and Vhagar to be waiting. Instead, both have vanished, with no dragon to support them. Criston rejects the sensible advice to retreat and instead commits his exhausted army to a desperate guerrilla campaign against Rhaenyra's far larger forces. He dresses the decision as honor, but it feels more like stubborn desperation. Every commander in this war is now making choices driven by pride rather than strategy. The episode also introduces an even more dangerous player in Lord Ormond Hightower. At first, he presents himself as a disciplined and fair ruler, punishing one of his own soldiers for attacking a local woman and providing aid to her injured family. But the mask quickly slips. The moment news arrives that no reinforcements are coming, Ormond erupts in fury. His carefully crafted image disappears rulers, revealing a man driven by ambition rather than justice. He orders Daeron Targaryen to execute a prisoner, then openly declares his intention to place Daeron on the Iron Throne, believing the Hightowers, not the Targaryens, should control the future of Westeros. Watching Daeron struggle with the order makes it painfully clear that another young prince is being shaped by the ambitions of older men. Running through every storyline is the same painful theme: failed fathers creating damaged children. Daemon must finally confront what his neglect has done to Rhaena. Daeron discovers that the man who raised him values power above honor. Criston recalls how his own father's spirit was destroyed by serving cruel rulers. Even Alicent uncovers another family burden when she learns Helena is carrying yet another child, tying the next generation even tighter to this endless cycle of violence. One of the episode's quietest conversations becomes its most meaningful. Rhaenyra and Alan of Hull stand together before King Viserys' model of Old Valyria, reflecting on the fathers who shaped their lives. Both understand what it means to live in the shadow of impossible expectations. Their conversation reminds us that behind every crown and every dragon stands someone still searching for approval they may never receive. The episode closes without a massive battle, but it hardly needs one. Every relationship is weaker than it was before. Every alliance hangs by a thread. Every leader is making choices that will haunt them. Heavy is the head reminds us that kingdoms rarely collapse because of a single dragon's fire. They collapse because trust disappears one decision at a time. And after this hour, the fire consuming Westeros has never burned closer to home. Thanks for watching.
And now we begin.